welcome to February, the latest episode of
Unfiltered Brew.
I'm Deb Miles.
And I'm Kim Becker.
Welcome to Unfiltered Brew. And it is the month of love and hopefully higher temperatures.
I'm so glad it's not in January anymore because January felt like it had 71 days.
More like
so long.
The only time you go see 71 around here, unless you're going to Florida in February.
Right. But even Florida was cold. It was like 35 or 40 degrees. I don't even think you got 71 in Florida.
They were freezing their coconuts.
Yes, they were.
And picking those oranges. So I made an orange shortage now.
That's right.
But it is the time of love, and you think, Debbie, you might be just a little bit, and you're calling yourself Debbie. You might just be a little bit happier, and I am. I started my wellness journey again.
Yes,
and I went to Medi weight loss many times. This wellness journey, as it does, tend to derail at times. But
me too.
But I'm back on track.
Good.
I'm starting my new plan at Medi Weight Loss, and it's fantastic because it's GLP-1 support, and I wanted to try the shot, but there was so much noise about it everywhere else. I didn't know anything about it, so I was very lucky to team up with Medi Weight Loss, and I am now getting a meal prep, vitamins, and also a GLP-1 shot, and it's working. 1 month, I've lost 16 pounds.
That's awesome.
6 pounds of fat.
That's awesome. Well, but you're doing it the right way because it's doctor-led.
Yes.
So you're not just going and getting the shot over the counter and trying to do this on your own. You've got a medical background with this, so you're doing it the healthy way, which I'm glad about that for you.
Oh, I have. I don't like needles, but I have had 2 different blood tests, and one of them, the last one said, I have the liver and the kidney of a 20-year-old.
Yay. Awesome. So that means you're going to live to 120.
They didn't say about my heart or anything. I might have the heart of an 80-year-old. No, I'm fine. I am perfectly fine. So I am so blessed that I figure it's taken now.
Yes.
So I'm excited about this, and I'm the type of person who, if I'm feeling fat and ugly, I'm going to be down and be very isolated, and I'm not doing that now. I feel great. You and I going to dinner later.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited because I'm starving.
Well, hold on, because we have to talk about Valentine's Day, of course. Now, a lot of people say, well, Debbie, why am I calling myself Debbie?
I don't know.
You know why? I'll tell you why. Because I was just talking to my brother. My brothers call me Debbie.
They do.
When growing up, I was always
So
Debbie.
are you Deb or Deborah or?
It's Deborah, Debra.
Okay, so that's your given name.
But my on-air name has always been Deb Miles.
Yeah.
But my family calls me Debbie.
Okay.
So before I started talking to you, I was talking to my brother, and Debbie does, Debbie that.
Here you
Debbie,
go.
whatever you want to call me is fine.
I'll answer.
It doesn't matter. But it is February. And Valentine's Day, people have different takes on it. They'll say, it doesn't mean much to me, or it does, or there's Galentine's Day, which is the girls go out. What do you feel about Valentine's?
You know what? I'm a romantic at heart. I loved all the Hallmark Christmas movies. I made it a point to try and watch a couple of those. And so, I love Valentine's Day. And so this is the first one and a long one that I'm celebrating Valentine's Day as a married woman.
Oh,
because
congrats.
I got married in June of last year. So Tom was trying to, plan something to see what we wanted to do. And, now it's the whole gift idea. Like, what is it that I get him? And, because we're at a very, as you said, right, you're in a point where you just kind of love life right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, we are too, like, just very content. So I want to get him something that maybe he wouldn't get for himself. So,
that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, it's good. It's good. It's good.
It can be a lot of pressure, especially for guys. Because you get flowers aren't cheap, and then candy, and a lot of women don't want candy.
And I would rather not. I mean, if you get me a flower, that's fine. But I'm that person that don't spend $100 on a floral arrangement. And here's the other thing that's really fun too. And I don't know if you've ever had this or not. So I believe that if a flower is given and it dies right away, that's a sign from the relationship.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I had one of the guys I was engaged to before Tom. He bought me. It was the Valentine's Day.
He was just cheap.
Right before we got engaged. So February, Valentine's Day. And he bought me a dozen roses, and they died like the next day.
Because he bought cheap ones. He didn't buy good ones.
It doesn't matter. I feel like if they're given with love, that they'll flourish. This is see what I said. I'm I'm the romantic one here.
If they die right away.
It's a sign if they die right away. If they die, the relationship is dead.
That can explain all of my relationships because every time I get flowers, they die because I forget to water them.
Well, there's that.
But yeah, that's a good thing to think.
You know what? So when I pay attention to that. Like if when I was dating, that if I was given flowers and they died, I was always like, I think there's like an omen or something around that. I really do.
I would watch that flower constantly, 24/7. I would, but I don't really have a green thumb with that.
No, I don't either. But still,
and I always would feel bad because then they would die quickly, and then I was dating somebody. They'd say, "Oh, where's your flowers?" Well, they're in the garbage already.
I guess they died.
Sorry.
Yeah. I like it's just one of those things. I would rather. So you've known me for a really long time. Mm-hmm. I would rather have an experience than flowers.
What kind of experience?
Well, you know what? It doesn't have to be anything major. Like I would love to, take a drive up to St. Joe and go to Silver Beach Pizza. I would rather go, wait and celebrate Valentine's Day in March when Redemax opens and take a drive up there and go to the beach in the wintertime and that kind of thing. Take the $100 that you would spend on flowers and spend it on something like that, more of an experience. I would rather do that because that's me. I'm all about experience. Because you know what I realized? I can't take any of that stuff with me. And,
no, you can't.
And I said, when I buried Mike and, you buried Rick, I didn't send a house. I didn't send a car. I didn't send, all I sent with him were the experiences that we had together. And so I try and make it that it's more about experiences than it is anything else.
That's good. I think it's good that you do that because you have a child. He's a man now, but I think you also had a child to think about.
Yeah.
So that was always important to make sure you had good experiences.
Yeah. But let me tell you,
I'm more self-absorbed.
Well, I don't think that. But let me tell you about this child of mine, which I found. So, oh my gosh, yes, Seth. So first of all, I got a flashback. I'll have to pull the picture up. I found a picture of the first time that we took him to Disney almost 20 years ago. He was 4. Mm-hmm. He's going to be 24 in June. And he was with Mark, who's kind of his adopted uncle. And he had Mark had a bandana on or something. Anyway, I don't know why I remember this, but you commented. We put that picture up on Facebook or social media, and you commented on that picture 20 years ago. Like you said something like, if this isn't the cutest thing I've ever seen, or something like that. No, it was all positive. Yeah. Anyway, so this 4-year-old has grown into this incredible man.
Yes, he is.
And let me tell you, so he too is in the dating scene right now. Mm-hmm. And I am so very proud of him. So he dated a gal for about a month and I never met her. I didn't, he didn't introduce me to her or anything. And just recently called it off with her. And I am so very proud of that kid because he knows what he wants. And, he's looking for not necessarily a specific type, but, common interests and this and that. And he's not settling. And so it was a situation where, he's like, Mom, I really tried. And there were a couple things, where, they were sitting and she was watching a movie and he was just watching TikTok. And she's like, can you turn that down? That's kind of distracting. Or she's like, he's like, oh, there's this bar in Indianapolis I'd like to go to. And she's like, oh, well, I'd go with you, but I don't drink and I probably wear earplugs. And he's like, yeah, nope. But I am so proud of that kid. Mm-hmm. She got a big test. He's like, Mom, I don't want to call this off before her test. I want her to do well on her test. And then, we'll have a conversation. Mm-hmm. And I remember after he gently let her down and just said, this is something that, it's not going to work or whatever. He texted me and he goes, well, that sucked. And I said, honey, I understand. I said, but that's why you have the heart that you do. And just so you understand, this is why people ghost people because they don't have the courage to do what you did. But I am so proud of this kid to know what he wants, that he's not settling, and it's not just a warm body. And he's like, look, I graduated from college. I've got a good job. I'm in this because I'm looking for a long-term relationship. I'm not just looking for something that's just going to be, just to kind of just be a free, fun,
one night
kind of thing.
Thing.
And I thought, I've always said he's kind of an old soul, but I'm just so very proud of that kid.
Well, you should be because, I often think, and I think kids are more sensitive now about stuff like that. I really do. I think there are a lot of that type of old souls or they just don't socialize a lot.
Yes.
So they, I think they think more about the feelings.
Yes.
Because they have the feelings.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying everybody, not at all, because I was just hanging with my 24-year-old stepdaughter. We went to the spa. For her birthday was last week.
Oh, fun.
So
What
I took
services
her-
did you guys get done?
Well, she loves facials.
Okay.
And where I went, it's a good thing we only had facials.
Okay.
Because I got out of there, it was almost $500.
Ooh. I know where you're talking about, and yeah, it's not not cheap.
It was nice. It was very nice though. And I was glad I could do that for her.
But I could hook you up with somebody that you could get 5 facials for that.
Oh, okay. That's even better because I love facials now.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'll hook you up.
I love that. But
Yeah.
but it was a good experience. I mean, here they had
You get the robes.
that was like a fake fur coat. I mean,
Not a real fur coat for $500.
No. But I thought, they said, well, you can purchase one. I said, no, I don't need to. I have a mortgage already.
That's right.
I don't need to do that.
And a car payment.
I mean, you know, I'm just a down to earth type of person. Fancy things are nice. I love nice things. I love going to nice places, but I just felt a little bit fish out of water.
I would too.
But it was a good thing.
Yeah.
We had a great time. People were fantastic there, but I was just nervous. And we had to sit in a quiet room in between the services. It's like, and I'm not quiet.
I'm not either. Not at all.
And
all.
There's a mother and her a daughter and her elderly mother are in there in the quiet room, and I'm talking loud. And
Did they shush you?
They wanted to. I said, "You don't understand. I'm on my wellness journey, and there are chocolates over there, and I don't want them. I'm very happy, so I'm going to be celebrating this and talking to my stepdaughter. And I call her my stepdaughter not because I have any ill will towards her. I love her, but I respect her mother.
Yeah, of course you do.
Her mother and her grandma, and you know, I don't want to. I rather call
You're
her
a
that.
bonus.
Yes,
you are a bonus.
Right.
Yes,
but I just that's why I do that because people say, why do you always say stepdaughter? I said because that is in reference to her mom.
That's
who
right.
Does done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So we did that. Had a great time. But yeah, it was pricey.
Yeah.
And then they want you to buy stuff when you leave. Some of the product.
the facial stuff.
And I thought, well, I'll get the SPF stuff. That I thought it's the smallest bottle. It's got to cost the least.
Psych.
$60.
Yeah.
I could have got some SPF at the drugstore. But because they kept, and I agree because I like being in the sun, and I've got dark spots, and I thought maybe I better start doing that, but it wasn't. But she's got a job now, and it's really nice because
Is she here in town now?
Well, yeah, she's staying with her mom in South Bend, but she's a counselor, got her master's degree, so she's a counselor at an outreach place in St. Joe, Michigan.
Okay,
St. Joe, Benton Harbor. So it's a little dry for her, but she bought her first new vehicle.
Yay!
So,
isn't it fun to celebrate them when they make these accomplishments? I know.
And, you know, I thought, gee, this is fantastic. We weren't sure you were going to launch.
Right. Right. Well, I say that too. Like for Seth, I'm always like, you know, you are, and I tell him all the time, I'm so proud of you. You know, you're such a great kid, and you're so much further along than I was.
Yes.
Like when I look back at 23, like I was living on my own. You know, I didn't have as nice a car as what he did. I certainly wasn't making the amount of money that he's making. You know, and I'm so proud of him. You know, same thing with like your stepdaughter, right? You just are so proud of them to be further along than what we were. I mean, I don't have a college degree. My son has a college degree. And so I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah. I think it's always nice to always get that perspective on life too.
Yes.
I like that as well. But you know, with Valentine, and she's not celebrating Valentine's. She doesn't even really date anybody right now. She'll comment if she sees a good looking guy, and sometimes she talks, I want to find somebody with money. I said, well, you're going to learn, and she's
learning. You can
learning.
support yourself.
She is learning now that you got to find somebody of character and somebody who's going to treat you nice. So she's learning all that as she goes with her girlfriends. But I don't really push her to get a guy. This is a time of life to have fun.
Yeah. That's what I said to Seth too. I'm like, you know what? He's got all this stuff planned. He and a bunch of buddies are going on a cruise.
Nice.
They're doing the Luke Combs concert here at Notre Dame. Yep. They're going to see Morgan Wallen in Indianapolis. We're going to go down. I'm speaking in Gatlinburg this summer. So he's going to go down with us. We're doing the AC/DC concert at Notre Dame. I mean, so like his whole year, I'm like, that's what I said to him. I'm like, dude, now is the time. Like, you are just have a blast. Just go and have fun. And I'm glad she's doing the same thing.
When I was that age, I was just work.
Yeah, me too.
I was always trying to get ahead.
Me too.
And, I missed out on a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So she's doing it right and he's doing it right. And they had good role models.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about, I'm not I've known her since she was 10.
Yeah.
So I don't think I've done any damage.
Doesn't sound like it.
but yeah, she was laughing about the facial and stuff. I said, well, I'm going to get the Renew and the rebirth. The one that lifts everything up.
That's right.
You need to get like the detox.
That's right.
We're going to get different ones. But it was a lot of fun.
So I got it. So Sethy bought me for Christmas. I wanted one of those infrared, masks. Have you seen those?
Yes.
That go on. And so it's pretty funny because you sit there at night. You're only supposed to do it like for 10 minutes a night. And so a lot of times I'll go in the end of the night and I'll send him a picture. And so here it is. I got this mask on and the light, like I look like a freak of some sort, And I'm like, thank you for my Christmas present. Your mom's going to keep looking younger. So
hopefully something's going to work.
That's right. And I'm hoping, right? Between the facials and that. Yeah.
It's. But it's also important, though, when you think about February, remember things you do love.
Yeah.
To have a love thing. Like somebody like me, I may not have a significant other, but I've got a lot of reason to feel love to a lot of people.
Well, but you are loved by a lot of people, too. I mean, you've got a lot of friends. You've got a great support. You've got wonderful neighbors. You know, and so people at the station love you. Your listeners love you. Oh, my gosh. Speaking of love, I remember when we were selling the pink T-shirts for Hello Gorgeous.
Oh, yes.
And we were over at Barnaby's.
Mm-hmm.
And that little girl came up to you. And she was just starstruck with you. You were in tears.
I was.
She was like just starstruck. She was so excited to come and meet you in person, and she listens to you. And that was like the coolest thing ever to stand back and watch.
Well, it is really cool about that because you never think, I always think, oh, geez, I'm this older lady now. Nobody's
Oh, she was like 10.
Yeah, she loved me.
Yes, she did.
And I recently, a couple of weeks ago, I was also at a school, Queen of Peace. They did their trade fair.
Yeah.
So they asked me to come out there. And I did, and there's this girl. She's so cute. She had glasses on. She came up and she just stared at me. I said, "Hi, I'm Deb Miles. What's your name?" "Alicia." "Oh, that's a beautiful name." That's not really her name. I said, "That's a beautiful name," and she just looked at me. And I said, "Oh," and I said, "What am I going to do? I don't want to. I'm going to scare her."
Right.
So right. I said, "Here's a sticker. Would you like a beer koozie?" Wait, no, stop.
Probably not a beer koozie. Take this home to your dad.
Well, put your can of pop in it. And I was just babbling on, and the county police were at the table next to me, and they started laughing. They were laughing at me. And then finally, her mom must have been a teacher's helper or something. Came up to me. She goes, "She wants a picture with you because she loves you. She listens to you all the time." And I said, "Oh, how sweet was that?"
Yes.
And I said, "That's so nice." I said, "Yes, well, take a picture." But I've been in this business this station, it's for 25 years, been in this business for 35 years. So it's nice to know. And we just got the ratings out again, and they're great.
Yay!
I mean, over the moon. I shouldn't say this out loud. So that's kind of a report card of how I'm doing or how we're doing. And it's just wonderful. And I believe, that's because of the good that's done and the good people and their hearts. And you lay a groundwork. You've got a huge following too.
Yeah.
You're just being yourself and you lay the groundwork. People get who you are.
That's right.
So it doesn't really matter how you age or what you look like,
But I also think too, when you talk about February and being a month of love, you love what you do. And I think that that's huge. And that shows that you love what you do. And so you come across authentically. And that's the one thing that I love about the two of us in our friendship is that whoever you see, whatever you listen to here, and if you were to see us out in public, it's the same person.
It really is. Who knows?
Yeah.
It might be even louder. That could possibly, if we could be.
I am.
Might be, but I think we both learn, and that's something you learn too. Growing up, I was always a very shy child.
You?
Yeah. But
I do not believe that. I need to talk to somebody and verify that.
I unpacked. I was. But then when I found my old report cards from St. Joe Grade School, Mishawaka, from first grade to eighth grade. There's always one comment that says, "She talks a lot."
Well, you went into the right field then, didn't you?
I must have.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, no wonder I wanted to go into radio. Or downstairs in our basement, our family home, I had one room, I put a bunch of remember they used to have card tables, they used to have TV tables.
Yes, TV trays.
They were like tin and stuff.
Yes.
So I put old chairs, and I'd make like a school, like I was a teacher.
Yes.
And then the other one, there was a bar, and there'd be like a speakeasy, and I'd sing there. And then I also had another place where I would set my dolls and my brother's robots, and I'd be like, I'd be singing to them, but I'd be talking about music and things going on and news. I found an old news copy that I wrote, and they said, "Oh, the hippies are coming and they're causing issues." Down in the late 70s.
Oh my gosh!
Right? So it's like, it's mayhem, and it was just weird reading all that, knowing that that's what I did, and it's kind of funny. Yeah, you're right. It evolved to what it was.
Well, and it's so funny that you say that. So I have always been loud, and I don't know. So much so that when I was young, they took me to have my hearing tested because they thought that there was something wrong with my hearing because I was loud. They're like, she hears just fine. She's just loud. I've always been, this is my inside voice is my outside voice, and have just always been loud.
But I always loved you're right. I always loved what I did because it kind of brought me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Where I used to have a night when I first started this business. I used to have a nightmare when I lived in Chicago too. I was a nightmare for me to go out in public for a while because I was kind of scared. Yeah. I was nervous of that. But then, if you treat people decently, some will treat you bad. Some, most of the time, They treat you great. They treat you good, and especially here in my hometown, it's wonderful to have people come up to you and talk to you and act like they really know you, and they do because, like I said, like you said, we are us.
Yeah. And you know what? And the older that I've gotten, the less and this is going to sound awful, but the less I care about what people think about me. There's a saying, I think it was Win Claybaugh that said it, and that is some will, some won't, so what?
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to be everybody's cup of tea. That's okay. And some people won't like me, and that's okay too. So, it just, when you get to that point where you can really accept that, I think you just become more comfortable. I'm reading, so my goal this year is to read 10 books.
Audio books or real books?
I'm going to do both. I want it because I want to get the book in my hand, but then to listen to an audiobook too. Oh my gosh. And so I started reading the Mel Robbins Let Them.
Oh.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That is such an eye opener when you got somebody that doesn't like you. Let them.
See, I used to obsess over that.
Oh,
when I first started in this business, if somebody would say something nasty to me, it would do on and on in my head.
And you would, you could have 50 positive comments.
Yes.
And one negative comment.
Yep.
And you'll go after the negative comment as opposed to all the 50 people that like you. Now, you know what? It was funny because when I started the television gig, one of the broadcasters of the anchors that was there, I was talking with her and I said to her, I'm like, well, what do you do? When somebody says, something negative, she goes, Kim, she said, she's been in it 25 years. She's like, when it's one of those things, somebody took the time to write an email to tell me that they hated my boots. And I'm like, you're kidding me. And she's like, no. And she's like, so in my mind, I'm like, that person has nothing better to do with their time than to get on there, open their laptop, and then send an email about how much they hate my boots. She goes, it's just pathetic. And she goes, and at that point in time, that's what I tell myself. It's consider the source.
Well, you've got to understand too, and here's what I do. If somebody's going to go out of their way to be negative to you,
yes,
they're having one heck of a bad life.
Correct.
They're having their own issues. So you got to kind of feel sorry for them in a way because there's something going on with them that they are going to actually reach out and say, boy, you look terrible. You look really, whatever they're going to do.
Yes.
That they're going to say that to you.
Yes.
There's a need for them to hurt you. I'm not a psychiatrist or anything, but I have been to enough therapists and therapy sessions where I know you've got to just love yourself.
Yes. Yes.
And I think I'm finally figuring that out and how to do that again.
Well, and I wondered that so many times too, right? Where I was listening to a podcast the other day and they talked about the amount of negative thoughts that we have in a day as opposed to positive thoughts. And they said we have so many more negative thoughts. And if we were to switch that and instead of thinking negatively about whatever, the way you look in, pants or whatever, if you looked at, and I've got really pretty eyes. I'm having a really good hair day, or that lipstick color is perfect. Like if we were to change that mindset and focus on all the positive stuff, it would show through. Like people would see that.
And that's important too, because people, but sometimes people just want to be miserable.
Yeah, agreed.
And that's a whole other group.
That's right.
Where was I? It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing that how people.
I don't have that gall to be able to say that. And how pathetic is that person's life?
Right.
That they have to go out of their way to say something negative to you. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like there are some people that just aren't happy.
Now, there are nice people that would probably just say, well, you should just tell them God loves you or bless you or what I said, no, I just walk away. With a smile.
Do you smile?
I smile and walk away.
That's right.
Because my mom always said, less is more.
That's right. And if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all.
That is correct. So
Yeah.
I thought, I'm not going to get in a fight with somebody.
No.
Because first of all, I'm not a good fighter.
No.
I flail.
Me too.
So there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. So it's all important. But, but February is one of those months when we talk about love. And I just don't want people to get so engulfed in, well, you know what? I don't have anybody, or I don't have a significant other or whatever. I mean, my best friend and I, we're in different places. Well, of course here, but my friend Steph, she's got a wonderful guy now. And, she lost her husband.
Yeah.
A long time, 6 years now. But she found this great guy, and now they're engaged. And I'm just the opposite. I'm, by myself. But our life never really seems to sync.
Yeah,
that way.
Like when she's got somebody you don't, or vice versa.
Right,
yeah.
It just doesn't sync. But that's okay, because we're good like that. We support each other no matter what.
Well, and I think that's the testament to a good friendship, right?
Yeah.
You don't necessarily have to be in that same bolt. I know that's how it was with me, because I was single for, I don't know, 7 years, 6 years, something like that. And, I think that's just it. The only way, you have to make yourself happy first, right? So if you don't have anybody, make yourself Valentine's Day reservations, right? Just go out and have dinner by yourself, or take yourself out to breakfast, or do something like that. Do something kind for yourself. Go buy yourself some really good chocolate. If you normally do cheap chocolate for Valentine's Day, just buy yourself good chocolate. Just treat yourself the way you wish that you would be treated.
And you know what? Just do you.
That's right.
Be very positive.
That's right.
And I believe, what you throw out to the universe will come back.
It always does. It always does. I agree with that 1,000%.
Because, every night before I go to bed, I say my little prayers. And I always say I'm very thankful for everything. And you know what? I've been in this business now, a business that people said I probably wouldn't be in long, for 35 years.
Yeah.
I've won awards. Ratings keep going. Well, I mean, knock on wood. And, you two have been very successful in everything you do.
Yep. And it's because, I have a life motto. I don't know whether you have one or not, but my life's motto is, I can't be successful unless I help others achieve success.
Well, since I've started this wellness journey, it's get out of the way. I have to go to the bathroom. I'm drinking 100 ounces of water.
So I got to go. Move.
Let's move.
That's right.
Move. I have to go to the restroom. But anyway, just remember, don't be hard on yourself.
No.
February is a short month anyway. And then March, there we go.
It's spring. And it's my birthday month.
Oh, yay. My birthday's in April. So see, everything is moving.
That's right. It's moving like it's supposed to. That's right. That's right.
You are listening to Unfiltered Brew. I am Deb Miles. You can get a hold of me at deb@b100.com. or on Facebook. That's Facebook, Instagram, Deb5291, however you would. And Kim?
I'm Kim Becker. You can get a hold of me at kbecker@hellogorgeous.org, or you can follow the Hello Gorgeous page, or you can find me on Instagram at Kim Becker Inspires.
Well, this went fast. It's always a good topic with you. And I know we get positive. We're starting to get really positive feedback about it.
Yes, if you've got somebody that could benefit from just listening to two girlfriends having a conversation, make sure that you subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss an episode, and then share this with a friend, because we would really appreciate that.
Wherever you find podcasts, that's where you're going to find Unfiltered Brew. So have a wonderful month. We'll be back in March. And nice to see you, Kim. Take care.
You too. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.